Hi, my name is Lena. Welcome to my channel. I have finished the Iliad a bit early, and I'm filming a bit early because I have time. So, if you see some t-shirts lying in the background, those are my nephews' things. My nephews are visiting, so they went for a walk. I have a bit of time, and we are filming this video. So. I enjoyed these last 6 chapters very much. It's it's kind of a pattern. I didn't really like first 6 chapters, then I liked second 6 chapters. I didn't like third 6 chapters, and I liked the last fourth 6 chapters. So I enjoyed it very much. Well, Steve was right that it's a story about the race of Achilles. So it's not exactly about the siege of Troy. It's not exactly about fall of Troy. It's not exactly about the Agamemnon's campaign. It's only about the anger of Achilles. So Achilles is kind of a main character there, and I don't like him. I don't like him at all. I first knew about him from Virgil in his Metamorphoses, and I know that his race doesn't stop with his death, with the fall of Troy. Ovid tells a story about the ghost of Achilles rising from under the ground and demanding that the last daughter of King Priam would be sacrificed to him. And the girl is killed on his grave. So I think the most famous thing about Achilles is his anger issues, his inability to control his anger. We have in these last 6 chapters the battle between him and Hector, and the battle between gods, and I have this idea that gods are the reason the whole thing was so messy, that there were so many casualties, so many deaths. Gods were the reason. If they kept to their own things and did not interfere, it would have probably been not that tragic, not that lengthy, not that tragic, not that bloody. I kind of don't like the gods. Steve said that they were very human-like. Well, they are very human-like, and they are not the best examples of human nature. I wonder what Greek women were back then, if they invented Hera, this goddess of marriage, goddess of family. She is insufferable, she is obnoxious. All this violence Zeus threatened her with, I kind of wished that he would go on with it, because she is insufferable. And Zeus is supposed to be this bully, and well, he doesn't actually control anybody. Um, they are kind of afraid of him, but they do what they want anyway. So Athena, she's supposed to be this very wise woman. She also gives victories to different heroes and fame. She helps them out in their quests. Well, she's supposed to be a wise woman, and what is she doing there? So she is in Troy because the goddess of discord, some second-rate goddess, I don't know, um, gave this apple. I think she gave the apple to father of Achilles before he was even married. So this apple, this golden apple, that said to the most beautiful. And Athena is near Troy in this battle because she wasn't the one who got this apple. There were three goddesses who contested for this apple: Athena, Hera, and Aphrodite. Aphrodite got the apple, and if Athena was wise, why would she need this apple? And afterwards, I haven't yet read Ajax, the tragedy by Sophocles, but I think I heard that Athena actually the reason behind this tragedy, because instead of accepting Achilles' armor, I think she said, well, give it to the most valiant, to the best fighter, and it's the shortest way to trouble. So this woman doesn't seem to be capable to learn from her own mistakes, unless she wanted trouble. So I don't know. And I would recommend you to listen to the Trojan War podcast. I will leave a link to it into my info box. It is great. It is funny. It's entertaining. If you, I listen to it when I am going for a walk. Every episode lasts about an hour, and an hour walk is good for you. And every episode is very interesting. Basically, the author of podcast gathered all the myths around Trojan War and made them into very coherent, very interesting, and very informative stories. So, about the Iliad. This story actually ends with Hector's body being ransomed and buried. That's the end of the story. We don't get to see the fall of the Troy. We don't get to see the death of Achilles. And I very much enjoyed the piece of the affair when, to honor his friend Patroclus, Achilles renounces games, this sport competition between the drivers of chariots, the boxers, the wrestlers, the arrow shooters, how do you call them? So And we have an opportunity to see heroes competing and kind of comparing strengths. So I'm very curious, where is Diomedes during the Ajax tragedy, because I know that Ajax and Odysseus would quarrel over this Achilles' armor. But Diomedes, he is a very strong fighter. He actually fought Ajax, and nobody of them could win. They were equal in strength. So where is he? Why he is not quarreling over this armor? It's very well written. It's very well translated. The poetry was beautiful. I enjoyed it very much. I'm not sure if I read it. I will probably this time. Maybe paying more attention to who was slain in the battle, and because this time it did not interest me at all. I know it was graphic, I know it was very well written, I know all the metaphors were great, but I did not enjoy it. I know that we read Odyssey in August, and this is my book. I bought it together with Iliad about 20 years ago, and I haven't read that. And I am a bit upset about this book, because it's written here that it was a translation from Greek by a Russian poet, Zhukovsky, but the thing is he didn't know Greek, and this book actually a two-man job. He knew a German professor who, for him, translated a Greek poem into German word by word, and this was the material Zhukovsky worked with. So it was two-man job. And to add, he also changed it a bit. So the story I will be reading might be a very different story to the one you guys will be reading. If you remember Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio, this modern version, what Zhukovsky did, he actually made the story more Russian. He wanted it to be more relatable, more enjoyable, more interesting to Russian public of his time. So we will see how it goes. It was about the time that it was 18 something, maybe 1829, maybe 1896. And when I will be talking about Odyssey, I will tell you the name of the German professor, because I cannot find it right now. All in all, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this book, and I think that it kind of rewarding to read it. And if you have time, you probably should try. You might like it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Happy reading.